Hey, I'm Cordell, and if you have an eDrum set up and you'd like to connect it with Ableton inside of a drum rack, I'm going to show you how to create an Ableton drum rack that you can use for eDrumming. Let's do it. Alright, the first thing you're going to do is get a MIDI track. That's going to be Command-Shift-T. Then you're going to come over here to Drums and just get a default drum rack, like so. You've probably already done this. You've already got your drums hooked up, but this is going to be empty, so we're going to make our custom one. If you Command-F, you'll be able to search through anything. I'll type in Coco Snare, and we're going to find a good snare. All you do is pick one that you like. I want to get one that's less digital. That's perfect. Once you've auditioned these clips, then you're just going to take one, click it, drag it, and drop it into the cell that you want to have there. Then you can adjust the start of the sample with this little flag right here where you want it to start. That sounds great. You can adjust the end with this flag over here. And then you can also adjust these right here. So you can have it fade in if you want. You can have it fade out, like I want the sample to fade out a little bit like that. You can adjust the pitch. This is the velocity for how much the volume will change depending on your velocity of hitting the drum. And then this is the volume of the sample. That's really important. So once you've dialed those in, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to type in Coco Kick. Find a good kick drum. Yeah, that'll do. Make sure it starts in the right spot. I'll fade it out just a little bit and get some of this room tone out of here. A couple more. Let's do a hi-hat. So I'll type in Coco hat and see what we got going on here. Well, when that closes. There we go. Perfect. And let's get a closed hat as well. Yeah, that'll do. And I like to have what I call like a little ghost snare. All right, so let's just get a tinier little, yeah. So we'll just get another little snare right there. Same thing, pick where you want it to start, pick where you want it to end. Adjust if it fades in or fades out. I like to pitch them up a little bit for this ghost snare. Boom, there you go. And finally, I'll put a crash cymbal on there somewhere. Sure. And there you go. You've got a basic drum kit you've loaded up. But let's say you want to get a little bit more complex with it. I'm going to show you how to layer these. So let's start with our snare. We've got a nice little clickety-clack. If you want to add more layers to it, you'll click on the top here. So you highlight the whole sampler. You'll hit Command-G, and that'll put it in a group. Now in this group, you're going to open up your layers right here, and then you can drag as many instruments as you want into here. So let's, for example, get another snare. Maybe something that's more digital, like I was saying before. So we'll get some digital snares going on. Yeah, that sounds great. What you can do is just drag it, drop it, just like you did before. And before, the sample was set to one shot. When you drag in new ones, it's often set to classic. So typically for eDrumming, you want to move it over to one shot. That way it'll trigger the whole thing. And then same thing before. You can pick where you want to fade it in, fade it out, all of this jazz right here. Make sure you turn this filter off and the LFO off if you don't plan on using it. I'll do another video on how to use those in a bit. But if you don't plan on using them, just make sure that they're off to save CPU and to make sure they're not affecting your sample. And now when you click this, you've actually got both of these samples playing. Now you can see here, you can adjust the gain of each sample. So if this one feels a little loud compared to this one, I can dial it back. You can do the panning if you want some on one side and some on another. A little bit of a stereo width situation is always great. This is just muting them or turning them on and off if you want to audition one sound for a second. And this is soloing, so you can solo some stuff. And then if you just want to replace the sample, you can actually click this, type in whatever you want, you'll go into hot swap mode. And you'll be able to swap the sample out like that. Or you can just drag another one onto here. Now, if you do that across the board, you can actually end up doing some super interesting stuff. So I'll show you one more time. You'll hit Command G to group it. You'll open up your chains. Here's what we call them. Your different chain modes. I'll go into another video if you'd like, but let's keep them hidden for now. We'll find another type of kick that we want. Maybe, like I said before, I love layering my acoustic drums with digital drums. So I'll take a digital kick here. That sounds good. Layer it, move it to one shot, adjust the end, fade it out a little bit. I'll turn off my LFO and my filter. And now, yeah, much fuller, right? And you can put processing on these individual chains as well. If I want to EQ this one or just EQ that one, or you can get really creative with how you process in here. Again, I'll do another tutorial on all that later. But now what you can see is you've got a drum set put together, and you can start layering it with even more layers. You can put as many layers here as your heart's content. I know, for example, I'll often put in a clap as well. Layers as many as you want. Let's get a little hand clap in there. Let's put the hand clap on one side, the wide clap on another side. Turn these off. Yeah, it's starting to sound pretty full. Right, you can get as crazy with that as you want. Now, what you'll notice is if you start grouping instruments and putting them together like this, everything inside your drum rack is just called instrument rack now. So what you'll do is click that, hit Command R, and you can name it whatever you'd like. Click that, Command R, I'll call that a snare. Let's see how it sounds. If that was helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe.